Well, so we're bringing to you the current dose of the latest news updates we have for the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, we have to start with some news from the stables of the Graphic Group, or Graphic Communications Group Limited, and publishers of Ghana's biggest selling newspaper, says it is well positioned to take on the several printing jobs which hitherto government would award to foreign contractors. Its managing director, Kenneth Ashigbe, is therefore expressing optimism that it will from now win most of such government contracts, such as the printing of textbooks for schools in the country. He has been speaking to Joy Business about strategic changes at the media group, which he said have made it very competitive.
The Daily Graphic, since it was established in 1950, has managed to position itself as the main point of reference when it comes to verifying the authenticity of news. Its credibility, the managing director says, continues to earn it several awards.
The values that we stand for: excellence, innovation, quality, involving our people generally in the way we do our things. But most importantly, we define quality from the perspective of, one, the reader, and two, the advertiser. So apart from the standards that we have, our journalistic standards that we have, standards for the quality of print, standards for what language we use, our credibility and everything, but we still take consumer and customer insight into consideration.
But the company's business is no longer limited to printing newspapers.
We value our human resources. We believe they are the strongest assets that we have. They are the reason why Graphic, though a state-owned paper, on a constant basis, we're making profit, we're declaring dividends, we are generating value for the shareholders and also the stakeholders. It's interesting to find out that Graphic is one of the companies that the King, Cecil King, the Mirror Group opened in West Africa, that is still standing and doing very good business.
He adds that the print technology they have available now allows them to do so much more.
We have just added another accessory to the press, which is the cutter fold, which would enable us to be able to print textbooks or books generally on a web press. So what will happen that with this, what Graphic can do in collaboration with other printers locally, is that this whole issue of taking textbooks that the government prints for our schools outside to China and to the Middle East and the Far East to go and print because of quality and cost, this web press would enable us, partnering with other local printers, to be able to print all the textbooks in really good time at very high quality at also competitive prices, then working with all the printers, because there's a lot of finishing capacity currently in the system.
He also talks about adding courier to their range of services.
Vehicles that send the papers into the regions would be able to take your whatever dry cargo you have. So if you have anything you want to send, you just bring it in by the same quality that would deliver the paper, the same agency with which we deliver the paper, and even more would be able to deliver your products up to you. So this is something that we want to share our strength and then also the excess capacity we have when it comes to our fleet and then our distribution system.
The Graphic MD, formerly with the Multimedia Group, praised the electronic giant for its contribution to the development of the country and commended Gifty Ando-Appiah on her recognition at the CNN Multi-Choice Journalist Awards. Emmanuel Ante, Joy News, Accra.
Moving straight to less of agitation. Now, agitated workers of the Local Enterprise and Skills Development Program, LESDEP, today besieged its office at the Labone here in Accra, threatening to cause maybe, according to the organization, has refused to pay them their accrued salaries after abruptly ending their 2-year contract with notice. Melinda Nyakwa Dennis has more.
The Local Enterprises and Skills Development Program, LESDEP, is a public-private partnership under the auspices of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, with a mandate to create and facilitate the acquisition of technical, entrepreneurial and other specialized skills, leading to the creation and management of sustainable businesses. This led to the employment of about 120 mechanics who were to assist some Chinese workers manufacture vehicles across the country country. These experienced mechanics tell me they were promised 1,100 Ghana cedis each month and an extra 300 Ghana cedis in monthly allowances. They, however, say apart from their allowances, nothing was paid to them until January 2013 when the contract was abruptly abrogated.
The problem is, after the end of the contract, they give us a letter that the contract has ended. So we should come for our letters so that they give us something small to send us off. So that we see our salary is not coming. The end of contract money too is not coming.
Actual money was 11 million and they give us 3 million.
You see, the money was supposed to be 11 million because the Chinese people told us that the contract that they signed between our government was 11 million. And we learned, they said they should give us all our money. And one of our management said that because we are young, we cannot manage that 11 million. So they are giving us 3 million so that they will keep the rest for us. Are we too small? Are we small boys that they will keep our money for us? 2 people have died. 2 people.
So we work up to 8 months. The contract hasn't ended. And they call us that we should all gather in Accra. Since they called us in January and they told us this thing, they didn't send us again. And they said we should go home. When they need us, they will call us.
They also accuse LESDEP of giving each worker only 600 Ghana cedis as transfer allowances.
And what I know for sure is that if you are transferring somebody from one point to the other, the money that the person is taking needs to be increased. Because the place that the person is going, the person doesn't know anybody at that place. You need to rent a room, buy 1 or 2 things at your place or at your disposal. You went there, fine, they give us something to rent a room. And you cannot determine that this very place, I'm going to rent a room for even 600 Ghana or even 700 Ghana. You don't know. But they give us 600 Ghana, that is 600 million. Whether you like 6 million, 6 million, that's 600 Ghana. For us to go and rent the room alone, for us to go and rent the room for only 1 year.
When the news team contacted the communications department of LESDEP, they declined to speak on camera.
So that was a report by Matilda Nyakuma Dennis yesterday.
Hundreds of workers drawn from the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union and the Trades Union Congress in Tema on Thursday morning embarked on a demonstration through the port city to protest the recent increases in water and electricity tariffs. Well, the march was, however, not without hitches. Joy News' Eric Curtis Howard and Matilda Bemega report there were attempts by the police to demonstrate or to stop the demonstration.
As early as 7 Thursday morning, members of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union converged at the Tridiasi School Park for the demonstration against the recent hikes in utility tariffs. They were, however, subsequently informed of a court injunction against their demonstration.
Brothers and sisters, late afternoon yesterday, an injunction was served to the chairman of the Tema District Council of Labour. We believe that for such an injunction, the most appropriate time for it to come should be in the morning. I think this development is most unfortunate.
They, however, vowed to go ahead with the demonstration, regardless of the court order explaining that they found it strange that the supposed injunction was served late Wednesday night and at the home of the chairman of the Tema Trade Union Congress. In their defiant mood, the protesters hit the streets, singing and chanting "Yintua" or "Won't pay" in reference to the hikes. The police, at a point, called in reinforcements. The protesters later got ecstatic after they received word that the court order had been set aside. They marched on all the way to the Tema Metropolitan Assembly, having been buoyed by their significant victory over the police.
What happened?
So the government should do well to listen to us before 22nd of this month. Other than that, there will be more we join after TUC on 22nd. So everybody should get himself in readiness. That by 22nd of this month, we will communicate with you and join Accra. That is the Gargantuan one.
Officials of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union later indicated, should government fail to meet their demands before the expiration of the 10-day ultimatum given by the TUC, they will step up the action.
Stop. The Government Staff Association of Ghana has spoken out against what it describes as an intimidation of its members by some political office holders over their ongoing strike. According to CLOSAC, contrary to claims that their strike is illegal, it's following the due process in embarking on the industrial action. It has vowed to carry on with the strike, which is now in its 5th day, until government asserts into their demands.
Evidence of the strike, which started on Monday, could be seen at some of the offices we visited. The regional secretary of CLOSAC, Samuel Kolising, who was speaking to Joy News after a news conference on the intimidation of its members, said their strike is backed by the Labour Act 2003.
We are telling our members it is a legal strike action and no one has a right to intimidate them. And then those intimidating them should desist from doing that, because it is a legal strike action which is backed by the Labour Act. If they do not know, they should go and take the Labour Act and go through it.
He described how some of the members are being intimidated.
It is still in effect until they hear from the leadership of CLOSAC. They should not report for job. Those political authorities trying to intimidate our people, they should stop doing that, because it is against the labor law. They should know.
The government agencies most affected by the strike are the Registrar General's Department and the Births and Deaths Registry. There was virtually no activity at the registry, whilst the Registrar General's Department had lost most of the usual hustle and bustle. Some of the affected persons shared their frustrations.
In fact, I'm really affected because all the long way from the northern region to Accra, only to come to meet this disappointment, I don't know. So I am counting on the government to do something about it, because it's really serious.
I don't think I'm the only person. A lot of people out there came here and then they left. So it's retarding the progress of the country. Already we are in economic crisis, you know, B+ to B. We are still going down. Why not move rather up than rather going down? If there's this thing, fine. Government, see to their needs, solve it in a way, have dialogue, and then we move up there. Always strike here, strike there. This is not helping the nation, please.
CLOSAC is agitating over allowances it says is due its members under the single spine salary structure.
So that's all we have for the news. So we'll be back with the sport teams. Just stay on.
All right.
All right, so welcome back, and now we're taking the sports news. And the first story reads: the Egyptian national team has arrived back in Cairo, and it's quite interesting how they managed to go through airport and immigration formalities at the Cairo International Airport.
Sports sources in Cairo have revealed that Egypt's squad of 25 players and technical team officials were smuggled through a special lounge reserved for Hajj pilgrims instead of the arrival hall in a bid to avoid media interviews and fans after touching down at the Cairo International Airport on Wednesday night. Aviation authorities stationed several security officials at the Cairo International Airport to ward off irate fans who were reported to have staged an ambush at the gate. The disgruntled soccer enthusiasts had planned to attack some of the players, especially defender Mohamed Naguib, who they blame for gifting Ghana 5 of the 6 goals conceded. Egypt suffered an embarrassing 6-1 loss to the Black Stars in Kumasi, meaning the Pharaohs must now score 6 unanswered goals in the reverse encounter on November 19th to reach the 2014 World Cup.
We're going into real estate.
Well, so following that very jump in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Ghana improved 1 place in the latest FIFA Coca-Cola World Cup or World Ranking release on Thursday, and the Black Stars are now placed 23rd in the October edition of the rankings thanks to their recent strong performances in the group qualifiers as well as the recent one in the first leg playoff victory over Egypt in the World Cup qualifying playoffs.
Place up in the latest edition of the FIFA Coca-Cola World Ranking released today. The Black Stars are now ranked 23rd in the world thanks to their recent strong performance in the first leg playoff victory over Egypt in the World Cup qualifying. Ghana is still ranked second best on the African continent behind Ivory Coast, with Algeria and Nigeria following in 3rd and 4th respectively. Kwesi Appiah's side, who are closing in on the 3rd straight World Cup appearance, have seen their points build up rise to 860 from the previous 830. In the overall world rankings, Spain are still number 1 as Germany climbed to 2nd with Argentina in 3rd. According to FIFA, 69 World Cup qualifiers played since the last edition of the FIFA Coca-Cola World Ranking, as well as the 20 friendlies and 10 preliminary matches for continental competitions, have had a significant effect on the global ladder.
Ghanaian boxer George Ashi is set to fight Mexican Daniel Estrada in the WBC World Cup Series tonight in Mexico. The boxer has been speaking to Joy News ahead of the bout.
My opponent, I've studied him before. I've studied him last time. He's a very good opponent. He have a title, but I've prepared to him because I have to bring the title to Ghana. So. As soon as it's good, I'll tell myself I'm good more than him because I'm going to beat him and bring the title to Ghana. I can sleep all the time because I'm concentrated all the time. Training, everything, and I have a good coach. Always is motivating me, doing me art training, making me art training. So I'm sure I'm going to bring that title to Ghana. This is the first time competition in the world. So I have to prove myself and bring the title to Ghana so that all the West will know that they have somebody called George Ashi in Africa. So I thank the BBC chairman for the title.
Well, so the renowned Ghana international boxing referee Atta has been looking ahead to the fight.
Well, it needs a lot of patience, it needs a lot of concentration, it needs a lot of individual indulgence. You know, George Ashi, as we know, is one of the best we have out here in Africa. You know, not mentioning guys like Freddie Lawson and Emmanuel Tego. But out of the lightweight division, I think he stands out. And I think he's there to prove something. I have spoken to him, and I know he's going to, you know, come out really nice. The problem there is he's going to a different terrain altogether. But being an international boxer, I think he's going to perform really good. Mexico happens to be the mecca of boxing, you know, all over Europe, all over America, and I think he's going to find it a bit hostile, going to fight there. I've been there a few times, and I know what pertains there. I've spoken to him, and I think I'm going to give me a lot more tidbits about what pertains in Mexico.
You know, we're heading to a weekend and there will be a feast of football games, not only across Europe and South America, but also in Ghana, the Ghana Premier League. And we have some fixtures for you.
Okay, so Ken Faisal versus Mediama SC, Hazakes versus Inter Allies, Bichim United, Asante Kotoko, Bichim Chelsea, AGBRC FC, Heart of Lions, Heart of Oak, Liberty Professional, Sudiana Stars, Ashanti Gold FC versus Dwarfs, Amidaos Professional versus WA All Stars.
Well, so the Ghana Premier League fixtures for week 7 just brought to you. And again, on this very channel, all the results of, so next EPL fixtures, that's the English Premier League fixtures, and we have some pairings.
Arsenal versus Norwich City, Newcastle United versus Liverpool, Chelsea, Cardiff City, Everton, Hull City, Manchester United, Southampton, Stoke City versus West Brom, Swansea City versus Sunderland, West Ham United versus Manchester United, Manchester City, Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur, and Crystal Palace versus Fulham.
Okay, so which of the fixtures are you looking forward to? Because there's no Manchester United. Manchester United versus Southampton?
My team.
Okay, any predictions?
Yes, 4-0.
4-0?
4, solid.
Yeah, I bet you get that scoreline. Well, so that will be it for the morning dose of sports on the AM show on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. And you have to stay on.
Get Interactive 1760. We'll be right back.
All networks.